Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joseph, who is better known as Wake Up Mother Jose from QSS. Today we're going to be reacting to a very old cartoon. Well, cartoon reviews. I have just started thinking about it today. Well, today we're going to be reacting to Moon Mater by Mater's Tall Tales. Yes, this was made in 2008, I believe, not so sure. But whatever it is definitely older than me. So let's get to it, right? Now, of course, before we begin, please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel and put on the notifications so you do not miss a single upload. Now, let's get to this cartoon, shall we? Lots of scientific things we have to debunk and to cover also. So let's get started.
Houston, if I'm lying, I'm crying.
So you're seeing here that Mater is saying that Houston, if I'm lying, I'm crying. Typical well for Mater. But really, this is actually quite accurate because in NASA or wherever you're working for, you have to acknowledge who you're speaking to first. So he says Houston at first. Houston, we have a problem. Houston, what's going on? Houston, everything is fine. You have to mention who you're speaking to at all times so that you don't confuse anybody. So we're off to a great start here. Let's hope this continues like this.
Check out that moon.
Whoa, that is too much of a large moon. What happened? Did the Earth's gravitational pull all of a sudden become stronger or something? Look at this. I mean, this moon is just too big. Come on, this is not great. But I guess for the aesthetics they put it here as, you know, the moon is big and close by. I mean, it is close by in astronomical terms, but they're just too large. But really, there is something called a supermoon, which is when the moon is at its maximum phase and luminosity, and also it is much closer to Earth than usual. So like almost all objects in space, the moon has an elliptical orbit around the Earth. So it has a perihelion, which is where it's closest approach, and aphelion, which is where it's as far as approach. So when it's at its closest approach and its supermoon or super full moon is in motion, that means that it's perihelion, and us Earth have a perihelion also. So yeah, maybe just push the moon a little bit further away from Earth and then we can talk.
I've been up there.
You have not.
Oh yeah, it's real pretty. It all started when I was towing this car to Florida, and then suddenly Houston had a problem.
Houston, I have a problem.
So right, this is a very typical line to say in these movies. So he says, Houston, we have a problem. So Houston, we have a problem was actually first said during Apollo 13, which is when Commander Jim Lovell says, Houston, we've had a problem. That's after Apollo 13 had the oxygen tank explosion, they lost most of the main systems, and they came back to Earth after about 2 weeks of almost near life or death situation. So that was quite tricky.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here. Can say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.
But also, if you notice here, he says that
Apollo 13.
it's in Apollo 13. Well, fine. Good improvisation. I like this. The mission was Apollo 13 and this is Impala 13. So, yeah, that's fine.
Stuck on the moon?
He needs a tow.
Where on earth are we gonna get a tow?
Well, that guy's got a tow.
Ow. And with a little bit of training.
Okay, so right now you can see that he is going for a training. So this is basically what I would think would be a high pressure, high G environment, but usually in space you're in a low pressure, low G environment. So it's kind of like, well, okay, what's the point? But I might be wrong because I have seen this before, I believe, but this, in this context, not so sure. Please comment below if you actually know what this is. I'm looking forward to see your answers.
I became a genuine autonaut.
Alright, so space shuttle is looking pretty good. You have the external tank over there, the two main rocket boosters, and of course the orbiter. So the shuttle was actually made to replace expendable rockets which cannot be reused. So the Americans were actually the people to start this space shuttle, and then during this time, space shuttle was still active. Unfortunately, 2 were lost. Unfortunately, I really remember those ones. But really, in reality, the space shuttle you're seeing here is called Roger, I believe. Yeah, Roger, and it looks quite good actually. So the tank is there, solid rocket fuel boosters are there, and I am actually quite impressed by the way they rendered it. So very nice.
What's going on, ladies?
Good luck, Mater. The world's counting on you.
Okay. And to avoid plagiarism, I understand this is NASCAR, not NASA. So a little bit of an Easter egg there, but come on, love it.
Welcome aboard, Mater. My name's Roger.
Well, howdy there, Roger.
This cockpit, Wow. Well, let's look at what a typical space shuttle couple would look like. Here's an image on screen for you. Yeah, that is what it's supposed to look like. But this is so claustrophobic. I mean, only one person can, well, one tow truck, I should say, can fit in here. But I love the way they've designed the buttons and everything. But what are they even there for? You're using wheels, not hands.
Okay.
Prepare for takeoff.
Alright, so this is the flight director I believe you're seeing here. So he's basically the guy who's the big boss in mission control. He does everything, he monitors everything. He basically has the final say before anything is, well, done in mission control and also relayed to this space crew wherever you are going to in space. So yeah, flight director is put here. I like that. Also, it's giving the order for prepare for liftoffs. That's good.
Let's burn this candle!
T-minus 10, 9, main engine start.
Okay, so they're starting on from T-minus 10. So that means that from 10 seconds onward, the launch will be underway. But now, look at how they put the igniters just under the Space Shuttle Orbiter. Now, the Space Shuttle Orbiter had engines that were very powerful, but then the main powerhouses were the main boosters. Now, those were solid rocket boosters. So what that means is once lit, they cannot be shut off. So these orbiters right now, you can see that the igniters are under there. I really like that, very good detail. And then that's the main engine starting, so not the rocket boosters. So that's just on standby, and then once they count to T-0, engines will ignite. So I like this.
Oh, boy, I ain't never been to the moon before, Roger.
Oh, you'll love it! It's real nice!
1, booster ignition.
Alright, so they say booster ignition. That's the code that you always say when you have solid rocket boosters about to ignite.
1, booster ignition, and liftoff of Discovery.
So this is saying here they have successfully ignited and they are now clearing the tower. But watch what happens next.
Apollo 13 rescue mission.
I love my job!
We have cleared the tower.
So fine, he says they have cleared the tower, but he says it a little bit too late. Because usually seconds after you completely clear the tower, you will say, but then just about 10-15 seconds after liftoff. So yeah, maybe a little bit earlier, that would have been fine. But also look at the speed at which it's going. I mean, it has a constant acceleration. It's not going at full blast and then finally just lifts up into the air. Because space shuttles like this, they produce a lot of thrust. But really, it doesn't take that little amount of time for it to really accelerate. Because it's actually kind of fast, but this is going a little bit slightly faster than what many main launches would look like. But come on, it's an animation. I'll go easy on this one. So fine.
Booster rockets 1 and 2 disengaged.
Roger, Roger. You are clear to burn.
See you later, Earth.
You are on approach to the moon.
Prepare for moon landing.
Open cargo bay doors.
Roger!
Operation Tow Mater is go.
Okie dokie.
Good luck, Vader. See you back on Earth.
Roger, Dodger, Roger. Whoa. Moon Mater has landed.
So many things wrong with this. I don't know where to start. Now let's start off with the launch. The launch is great, loved it. Now they're in Earth orbit right now. They've reached escape velocity 7 miles per second. Great. Now these rocket boosters are somehow expendable, meaning that they will parachute back to Earth 2 minutes after launch. But you can see that the external rocket fuel tank is also detaching or disengaging at the same time as the solid rocket boosters. That is not correct. The solid rocket boosters are gone 2 minutes after, no more, no less. 6 minutes after, that's when the external fuel tank should have got off, because this is the exact altitude that is supposed to be disengaged. But then the solid rocket boosters, that should have been years ago. That is just too much delay, come on. And also another thing that Hollywood usually gets wrong is that the Space Shuttle Orbiter always rolls on its back. I mean, during the launch, I did not see any roll program, which was strange. Because if you see this video here, you hear this, listen carefully to this clip.
Houston now controlling.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. Is now in a heads down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station.
But anyway, this is not what is supposed to happen. The space shuttle is supposed to roll on its back. So basically, underbody faces space and the back, well, the back here, usually faces down towards Earth. So this is something that I really wanted to bring up. So please do not get confused again. Now, probably one of the biggest mistakes in this thing right now is that you're saying the space shuttle itself is the one going to the moon. This is so wrong. The space shuttle was made for low Earth orbit and to some extent middle Earth orbit, but actually low Earth orbit for repairs for Hubble Space Telescope, to deliver packages and also repair materials for the ISS. It was made for that, not for going 240,000 miles away to the moon. That was so incorrect. And also, it takes a little bit longer. In fact, it takes a whole lot longer for it to get to the moon. So this is the moon right here. This is Earth. These are two very distant objects, and it's taking like, I don't know how long it took, but from our point of view, it took hours, I believe. Hours. It's supposed to take 3 days. I mean, Apollo 12 was one of the fastest spacecraft ever launched out of Earth. So it took a lot of time and also a lot of preparations to get to the moon. But it did it in 2.5 days to 3 days. But this is taking a little bit shorter. And this is traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. That's the speed of the space shuttle. Well, the Apollo missions travel, I think, twice or 3 times that speed. So this is getting out of hand. But look at what happens next.
Thank goodness you're here, Mater. Quick, connect your rescue apparatus to the frontal structural component of the linear axle assembly. Pronto!
How about I just give you a tow?
Mission accomplished. Now take us home. Rotate thruster.
Yeah, these procedures are bloody long. Some can take you hours to complete. Worst case scenario, it can take up to 3 hours to complete one checklist. But also, in the best cases, well, at least half an hour would do. So yeah, this is quite a very good depiction of what you're supposed to do to prepare in an emergency, during an emergency, or after an emergency, even before. Not even in emergency situations, even when you are idle, something must come up for you to achieve during that mission. Even when you're asleep, something could happen.
What? What the f?
Cool. Very cool.
That's prime ignition. Check. Pivot bolster column. What? Disengage inertial dampener.
Huh?
Ignite propulsion system. Basta!
So there I was, doing 17,000 miles an hour.
17,000 miles an hour? No way.
Yes, way, but that was nothing compared to you.
Oh yeah! Oh, this is awesome! Woohoo! Watch out for re-entry. What?
Alright, so let's start off from when they lifted off from the moon. So yes, he's right, going at 17,000 miles an hour. That is mad fast. But then look at McQueen's speed. He's also said that's nothing compared to him. So that means he was traveling a lot faster. But then also, these are astronauts, but these are also cars, so it's technology. But look at re-entry. This is the wrong way to do re-entry. Usually when you do re-entry, I don't know if he had heat shields, because the space shuttle actually had heat shields, and other space shuttles, and also even the ones used today, like the Crew Dragon for SpaceX, the Russian Soyuz, they have heat-resistant tiles or materials on the outside. So really, I think that they were supposed to make McQueen like this instead of going at an angle directly towards the surface, so to exert some of the heat, and that's what Mater probably did. As you see, his impacts on splashdown. Now, so speaking of splashdown, you can see that close by there's an aircraft carrier. Well, yes, there has to be a few vessels nearby the splashdown site. So yeah, that's very accurate. But also, you can see that Mater has a life raft and parachutes. Well, looks like McQueen, he did a premature parachute deployment, which is very dangerous. If any Apollo mission had that, there will be serious consequences. So the parachute is made to drastically reduce speed. You're coming in at about 7,000 miles an hour. It's made to reduce to about 300 miles an hour, but that's extremely fast still, even faster than the average car that you drive. But then as it gets lower, it encounters more air, and the air gets thicker and also more denser, and also gets more air resistant. So that means it can slow down more to a comfy 25 miles an hour. Even with that, the splashdown, according to Apollo spacecraft, was like a car crash, and one even said 2 car crashes. So yeah, imagine the pain McQueen felt after that. Yeah, you can see his burns, right?
We was a couple of bona fide heroes.
So, Mater, when does an astronaut eat?
At launch time.
Yeah, typical joke. I used to tell this to my friends every single time I saw a new movie on space. I mean, I really love these jokes, really. These are very nice. I wish I could relive those moments again. Sorry, I got carried away. But really, this is just not even it. There's still another scene we still have to cover, so get ready.
Oh, come on. That did not happen.
Well, suit yourself.
Vader! Houston has another problem.
Roger, Roger.
Let's burn this candle!
Yeah, well, okay. Space shuttles are technically like high-tech planes, but with half the technology, if I mean. What do I mean by that? First of all, they do not have reverse thrust to land. They only use a drag chute or drogue chute that is called to slow down. They might have some sort of braking, probably, but also they do not have ground spoilers, so it's very hard for them to slow down. The only means of slowing down that I think they might have would be the drogue chute. So yeah, that's also something else. Also, these space shuttles are not built for takeoff. They're not built for taking off like an airplane. They don't have these engines that provide thrust for takeoff. They only have these engines that provide thrust for lift off from the launch pad. So this is not accurate. Lifting off from a runway or a road, no, that's just too overwhelming. I can't live with that. But also, there's something interesting here because they seem to be picked that it has a entry door through its starboard side. Interesting. Comment below, what do you think about that? I really want to know. But it's alright, this was a very good series. Watched everything, loved it. I think I was about, I don't know, was I 3 or 4 years old? I still remember it. But really, this is just what science is supposed to be about. It's about debunking things, being very counterproductive by your own thoughts sometimes, but also just at the end of the day, there's something that you might learn from it. So hopefully you learned a lot from this and see that not everything you see on TV is believable. So on keyword sets, I'll be doing more of these reviews, so you can come here and check them out, and also link in the description for the actual video, so you can watch without any interruptions. So, line up for more facts and subscribe. Also, hit the like button and share for more facts and more reviews you never knew about. It's me, Commander Jose, signing off. Peace.